So what should we call this one?
I don't honestly know.
Stick a cork in
it, Bikram.
your dick hole?
Yeah.
That's what
Stick
really
a cork in your dick hole, Bikram. Oh my God, did you see that little girl get bit by the
horse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so uncomfortable. She rallied. She was fine. I wasn't going to make it something if it wasn't going to be something. Not my monkey, not my circus.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my God, if that was my child, if it was my child.
Oh, if it was my child, it'd be like, you must have deserved it. I mean, that girl didn't deserve it.
Oh my God, I didn't even tell you.
Hmm.
I almost got in a fight last night.
With who?
This lady who did not get out of her car. But she almost fucking ran over Jameson. We were coming out of the tryouts, and she drove, and then she was driving through the parking lot looking for spaces. We are crossing the way, and wait for her to go. She pops it in reverse and jets backwards, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Aldridge goes and grabs JMO, and I was like, "Stop!" It was honestly the craziest thing, and I was like. And I just look at Aldridge. I was like, I'm going to go to jail. And then we're loading. We're both I'm like, what the fuck was that? Aldridge is like, oh my fucking God. And we're just standing there for a second. And I'm like, okay, we just walk to the car. And then I'm like, that's not enough. I would go back up to she's still looking for parking. I go up to her window and I go, excuse me. Her window's up. She rolls it down. And I was like, in the future, she's like, I saw you guys. I was like, no, you didn't. I was like, in the future, she rolls her window up and I was going to fucking punch her car. I was so mad. I've never thought my kid was going to get hit by a car so much more in that.
Yeah.
Ew. Good thing it wasn't Shep. Shep's. I literally made sure I was holding Shep's hand because I knew the parking lot was crazy.
Yeah. Where was this? Where's that? Oh.
Dicey.
Small parking lot.
Mm-hmm. Very small parking lot.
Yeah.
But I, when
yeah.
I just got Mama Bear. And I'm like, that's not enough. I need to go back. I must let her know.
Yeah.
She did have kids in the car. She has a responsibility to drive.
Not like a psycho.
Not like a psycho.
Where there's kids.
The parking lot was.
Instead, you just say, "Oh my God,
packed.
I'm so sorry."
Something.
So crazy.
Get out of the car and say, "Oh my God, I'm that was my fault."
Yeah.
Or don't even have to get out of the car. Just say it, or or just apologize profusely because it was warranted. And oh my God, yeah, no, I was ready. It's probably better she didn't get out of the car. I honestly don't remember the last time I saw red like that in my life. It took me a while to calm down. Hours.
Oh my God.
Hours to calm down.
Thus the migraine?
Thus the migraine.
Or the headache?
The headache, the tension headache. Yeah. Threw me for a spin. At that point, I was like, it was, my blood was, I really was like, I'm going to physically punch somebody.
Yuck.
I don't normally get to that point. I don't normally resort to violence. But when she was like, I saw you guys, and rolled up the window, that's when I was like, because at first I was going to just say, in the future, when you're driving through a parking lot and there are millions of kids and families walking around, going in and out of the parking lot, because there were tryouts. People were, it was one tryout after the next. Slow the fuck down.
Yeah.
And what happened was she thought she was good. She was trying to pop it in reverse to get to this one car that was backing out. She wanted the spot. There was already another car waiting.
Yeah.
And you don't pop it in reverse like that, bitch. That was shiesty what you were trying to do.
Yeah.
Steal it from somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was so mad. So now, and it was a white Tesla, the not the regular one, but not the Model 3, but the bigger one, but not with the doors
Yeah.
So I saw a few of them today because they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck that car. Yeah. I'm getting ragey just by seeing white Teslas now, which is
gonna be on JMO's team.
No, because she was trying to find a parking spot, so it wouldn't be. It would yeah. I'm like, how about your kids are in the car? And how about you do the right thing because you're in front of your kids?
Yeah.
Especially.
Yeah.
Especially. Well, I was ready to stab somebody. I swear to God. It was bad. I can't remember the last time I got like that. I'm glad I'm not in jail. J-Mo was like, oh my God. Like he was freaked out. I can see him going like this and Aldridge grabbing him.
Yeah.
I can
Parking
still
spot
see
is, like,
that.
not that big of a deal.
Come on. And if you're late, you're late. Like,
yeah, everyone can see the parking lot.
Fucking tryouts.
It's
yeah. Oh, rage.
Ew, I hate.
I know. I want to find her. I should have like got her license plate. I was just so mad.
Oh my God. Like in a...
I don't know what I would have done with her license
like
plate.
MacGruber, where he's just like repeating the license plate over and over.
Just over and over. I'm like,
everything is like written down in all the notebooks.
And I'll see. I'll find, like, bump into them. Gosh, it's for the best. It's for the best.
She would have completely forgotten about it. And like, you're like, 2 years ago, you almost killed my son.
Yes, the fuck, exactly. Like some like law-abiding citizen type shit. Like make some elaborate plan. Oh my God. Yeah, no. I honestly don't remember the last time I got so like upset, protective, ragey like that. But yeah, I don't know. It was crazy. Okay, I feel better.
Just saying it.
Just saying it out loud.
White Tesla lady.
White Tesla lady, if you were at last night, fuck you. Fuck you. Your kids are cool. They should have a better role model because you were fucking jack shit last night. I'm so mad. I went there. Ooh, that was kind of rough, but they should. Honestly,
that wasn't that bad. Your kids should have a better role model.
No.
How rude of you.
The diss of the century. No,
watch out for these burns.
Ooh, coming in hot. Coming in hot. Get dodgy. But no, it was just the fucking craziest shit. And it was not to be fucked with last night. And then my kids kept fucking with me. So there's that. They're allowed.
They got the wrath of...
Where's my favorite pencil on planet Earth? Dude, have you erased with this pencil you gave me?
Yeah.
That's very satisfying.
I know.
Oh, found it.
This, wait, what brand is it? It's like that really cute...
Am I pushing?
Altitude. What? Are you having a baby right now?
I couldn't reach, so I, like, used my foot to push on my hand to get me. Oh, my God.
We're with it today.
Yeah, we are. I like it. It's fine.
It is very relaxing recording during the day and
it
not
really
being
is.
like, it's so late. I'm so tired.
Yeah, no, it is nice. It's the...
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Altitude at Target.
Altitude at Target.
Mechanical
Shout
pencils.
Out. Your eraser is top notch.
They have an aesthetic color palette.
They really do. This is very calming to my eyeballs.
Yeah. They also have like a terracotta color and a sage color. It was a pack.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been the one.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't remember the last time I used a mechanical pencil, but I think we should
bring them back.
Yeah.
I know. Well, so I bought some mechanical pencils for the kids and their minds were blown.
They're like, you can just do that?
Well, they were like, these are shit. They were like, it broke.
What?
And I was like, yeah. And then
you're pushing too hard.
Well, no. So I was like, they were like, it broke.
Yeah.
Now
what am I supposed to do?
Away. And I was like, no.
You click, click, click.
And then you could see their eyes just like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. No, these are nice.
Okay. I guess we should get into it.
Let's get into it.
I'm Jenna.
I'm Jess.
There's a trigger warning for sexual assault and harassment and the R word. I'm so excited about this one.
Honestly, the R word fucks me up.
I know.
Cannot. What did we watch? Oh my God, American Nightmare.
Oh, you finished it?
Yeah. In like 2
nights.
nights. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because, I had to get ready and go to a birthday party. A kid's birthday party. Had to cut my traumatic. Yeah, R word sucks.
I liked that one because I remember when it happened and it wasn't like resolved. So I just kind of forgot about it. Because it was in the Bay Area.
I'm
so
feeling like Denise and Aaron need to didn't they end up suing?
Yeah.
I thought they should have got more money. It's like $1 million.
Yeah.
For all that trauma?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
More. Oh.
Seriously.
Spoiler alert if you haven't watched it already.
My God. Okay. So we're talking about Bikram Choudhury. I know. I kept putting this episode off because he's just like the worst. But I mean, it's like we have to cover it because so many things tie back to it.
Yeah, it's so intertwined, and we knew that we were gonna have to cover it eventually. So,
but he's just the worst. His vibe is the worst. I mean, we've come across a lot of people that are the worst, but they're dead.
Yeah,
or they're but he's still
somewhere
out there. Yeah,
in the universe.
Bikram Choudhury was born in I just start because I'm I got to get through this thing. So Bikram Choudhury was born in Calcutta in 1944. So he begins training under Bishnu Ghosh in 1962 at the age of 18, specializing in bodybuilding and massage, not yoga. At this point, he's doing jackass level yoga stunt. He's laying on a bed of nails and having a motorcycle run over him, or he's letting his forearm being run over, full on Steve-O style. And he's wearing, again, a little Speedo.
Yeah, just a lot of nothing.
In 1969, he trained for 6 months studying. Oh my God, my brain.
It's okay. Glitch.
In 1969, he trained for 6 months studying yoga asana, but Ghosh dies in 1970, so he's unable to finish his training.
Okay.
Bikram tells a story that he was taken as a young child by Bishnu Ghosh, trained at the age of 5, trained as a yoga prodigy, and won the National Yoga Championship 3 years in a row as a teenager, and traveled the country performing yoga stunts with Ghosh. The National Yoga Championship of India didn't even start until 1974.
I was going to say, nobody's going to argue because guy's dead.
Well, and this is pre-internet. So,
you can really make up
anything pre-internet, and no one could really say shit.
Yeah.
So he says he came to the U.S., and his first student is Elvis, then President Nixon, then the Beatles.
How does he escalate that quickly? It's so crazy.
I guess it's just confident.
I remember when I saw that, I was like, what?
Yeah. So Bikram Yoga is a set. So I'm kind of skipping ahead. I'm not going to do the quick reveal where I'm guess what? He was lying, because just know that everything he says is pretty much a lie.
Bullshit.
So Bikram Yoga is a set series of 26 postures set to a very specific script that takes about 90 minutes to complete. It's in a 104-degree room, which is supposed to, according to Bikram, mimic the heat of India. But I guess one time he was really cold and he turned on the heaters, and after that he was like, this is nice, I'm not going to stop. Which I get. Because I do love a heated room.
But 104 is aggressive. But I do like a heated room.
104 to me is perfect if it's only at about 50% humidity.
Maybe the humidity of it all.
It's the humidity, depending on the humidity. I don't love it too humid. But so he claims to have invented the sequence, but Mukul Dutta, who was also a student of Bishnu Ghosh, ended up years later publishing a booklet called Yoga Cure by Ghosh that predates the Bikram sequence.
See?
He was super irritated that Bikram was calling this his sequence and suing people, and he had the only copy of this booklet in existence. And so he advocated for its publication at basically to be fuck you.
Yeah, I like it.
You stole this.
Yeah. I want you to go down.
Back on track. So 1971, Bikram comes over to the U.S. and lands in L.A., where he starts teaching at spas and wellness resorts, including a place called the Ashram in Calabasas. It was run by a Swedish naturopath and chiropractor named Anne-Marie Benstrom. A few years after teaching, Benstrom and actress Shirley MacLaine helped him open his own studio in L.A., just called Yoga College of India. Super simple. It was in the basement of a bank building on Wilshire, and he even slept in the building while he began to build his student base. And at first, it was, as it was traditional in India, classes were free. There was just a little donation box, maybe an actual tissue box.
Perhaps.
Who knows? And it was to encourage donations, but it really didn't bring in much money. So Shirley MacLaine is like, well, you can't run your business like this in America. So he starts charging $5, and then class grew like crazy.
Yeah, naturally, because that's giving away yoga.
Yeah, it's something that's free. You're But cheap, you're like, yeah.
Give it to me.
At this point, he was in his late 20s. He would teach shirtless and he would wear like this colorful sarong and was very strict but charismatic. And he quickly built a strong following, many of whom were famous, like Shirley MacLaine. You know Shirley MacLaine?
Mm-mm.
This lady.
Still
you see
checking.
Her? Oh, are you looking her up too?
Yeah, I'm looking. Oh my God. Yeah, I love her.
Yeah. So Shirley MacLaine, first most like prominent students, Susan Sarandon, Raquel Welch, Candice Bergen, Martin Sheen, all regulars. His classes were brutal, but the results brought people back. One testimonial reads, I love this. I mean, it's so stupid, but it made me chuckle. Mm-hmm. It says, quote, I went from a size 6 to a size 4 in Anne Klein's in 1 month.
Oh my God. So good.
In Anne Klein.
In Anne Klein specifically.
Many people were coming 5 or 6 days a week. And at the beginning, it seemed to be, he genuinely did seem to be interested in helping people and like spreading the word of yoga. Tony Sanchez, his apprentice at the time, said he was very disciplined early on. As he began to make money, he started to emulate, guess who? That everyone is like, I want to be like him.
Who?
Osho.
Oh my God. Okay.
So he starts being like, he said, okay, so
honestly,
Tony Sanchez,
I'm not good with time frames. I didn't know if Osho was trying to be like the Bikram.
No. Bikram's trying to be like Osho.
Yeah, that makes sense. But
so Tony Sanchez said that, he said, quote, there were a lot of articles about Rajneesh, his affluence and power, and the way he lived his life with Rolls Royces and Rolexes, and that made Bikram feel that anything was possible.
Mm.
In 1974, he appeared on The Tonight Show to demo part of a sequence, and it launched him into celebrity status. And unlike other gurus, so unlike Bhagwan, unlike Yogi Bhajan, he's young. At that time, he's good looking, and he was shredded.
He was shredded. I do remember him being shredded.
No, when he's young, he is very cute.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more beloved in LA than like spirituality and like sporting rock hard abs.
Yeah.
If you can do both, that's like
you're nailing it.
The epitome of things that people love in LA.
Yeah.
Rock hard abs and spirituality. By the mid-'80s, his business was very successful and he was making good money. He was charging $20 a class, which is the equivalent of about $60 today.
Oh, my God. Oh,
could you imagine?
Really? No. A drop-in for $60? No.
Mm-mm.
No. I could see why it got it. I mean, he's a celebrity at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if you're going to class and you're like, I don't know, Candice Bergen might be there or like Susan Sarandon, then you're like, fuck yeah.
The excitement of that. Like, I'm going.
I'm going to take class with all these celebrities. So in 1984, he marries the 5-time national yoga champion Raja Shri Chakrabarti, who was only 20 at the time. He was 40, no judgment. Mm-hmm. But it was definitely an arranged marriage. It was not like he went and he was like, I have this business. This girl's going to be advantageous to my business. So he marries her.
Gotcha.
Much to the surprise of his live-in girlfriend back in the States.
Oh my God. Really?
Yeah. He had a live-in girlfriend, and then he brought Rajashri back, and he was like, you got to go. This is my wife.
You got to get the step in.
So Bikram used the marriage to further his business, and he takes Rajashri on this like press tour where she does like yoga in front of people, and then he just talks about how great he is.
Naturally.
Yeah. Things are going well. So well, in fact, that in 1985, Raquel Welch releases Raquel Welch's Total Fitness and Beauty Workout on VHS.
Ooh.
And it's almost exactly Bikram's set sequence. Like, and the dialogue from class. So he sues her and they settle out of court for enough money that he's able to build a $600,000 home in LA, which in 1985 monies is about like $1.7 million now.
Which is, a freaking ballin' ass house.
Yeah. So it also brings to light this opportunity. People are hungry for what he's teaching, and it can very easily be parroted in the way that he wants.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1994, he begins his infamous teacher trainings. They would happen twice a year. 400 people would pay about $10,000 to cram into a tent set up at a hotel for a chance to be a teacher and to memorize the 45-page dialogue required to teach the class. 45 pages.
That is so crazy. That is so much. There's no way. I mean, I guess there is, but I feel like now when you guys teach, it's not always, you know, you guys
Well,
are
I'm
just
not.
going off
I'm
the
not.
cuff.
I'm not.
Bikram certified
trained.
or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not a Bikram teacher. But the trainings lasted 9 weeks. They were expected to be there 6 days a week, starting at 8 a.m. The day consisted of 2 90-minute practices, and they're not like 2 different practices. It's not like a regular practice and then like a restorative. It was like the same sequence both times.
Jesus.
To drill it into memory.
Was it heated?
Yeah. There's posture clinics, anatomy, and lectures, but the lectures were just Bikram rattling on and off about like whatever pops into his head.
I remember seeing this, I think it was on the Netflix documentary where like he was teaching a class and like yelling at them and standing on their backs.
Yeah, okay. So what they do is like, I don't know what the pose is called because I don't fucking do it. But basically like they'll be doing like an extreme back bend and then he'll come and he'll step on their hip bones.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, he like he stands on their hip bones, which is not stable and not good for your back.
Right.
And if he were really teaching anatomy or knew what the fuck he was talking about, he wouldn't have done that. Like it's like it blows my mind.
Yeah.
Because he's like almost like bouncing on them.
Yeah, which is so bad. Like even like you don't
he's
like
gonna
to
fuck
like
somebody up.
Jump into like child's pose like right away because you have to work
into
that.
No, I mean. No, there's just no, I can't.
No,
it makes my eyes
I just remember
look
like that scene. I'm like, that he's fucking awful.
Yeah,
I can't imagine.
No. Don't love, especially with like hip. I don't know. Your hips get so fucked up, and if your hips are fucked up, then that like travels up the spine and it like leads to other imbalances. And he's just can't. Anyway, so sometimes he felt like he wanted to watch a Bollywood movie with the whole group. And that would last sometimes until 3 a.m. And then they were still expected to be there at 8 a.m. the next morning. So trainees were deprived of sleep, food, water, and to use the bathroom. He would say, I'm sorry, Mom.
Because I know
Mom.
she's listening.
But he would say, quote, this is a quote, not me paraphrasing or anything. This is an actual quote. He would say, stick a cork in your pussy and put a string around your dick because there are no bathroom breaks.
Oh my God.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah. That's, first of all, stupid because we don't pee through our pussies.
I don't know. I don't know if he knows anatomy. Remember?
I mean,
2 seconds ago,
I don't
he
think
doesn't.
he does.
Yeah.
I don't think he does.
He was verbally abusive to trainees and would often humiliate them in front of the crowd and tell them it was because he loved them more because he would tell them the truth. He's quoted as saying, quote, I am a butcher and I tried to kill you, but don't worry, yoga is the best death.
Oh my God. See, it's like glorifying the pain and, you know, there's like a lot of beauty that can come through pain, but
So Sarah Bond came to training with a love for the practice already. She had developed scoliosis in high school and yoga helped her spine and relieved the pain. So she dropped out of school at Washington State in 2005, took out a loan and enrolled in a teacher training in LA. She's beautiful. She quickly caught Bikram's eye and she thought it had to do with her very deep back bend, but his gaze made her uncomfortable. After class, he asked her to stay behind. He told her that they knew each other in a past life, and he kisses her on the cheek, and she's like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Don't love it.
No thanks.
But whatever.
Gross.
And then a few days later, she's called into his office, and he says, should we make this like a thing? Like, what should we do about this? I've never felt this way about anyone. And she was like, oh my God, no. And she just like is upset, leaves the room immediately, tells someone in management, like in a management position for the training, and they just were like, you know what? You're just going to have to separate the man from the teacher. Like, just so you know, just
grin and bear it. Separate the man from the teacher.
Yeah. And you need to keep this information to yourself.
Oh, worst.
So for the rest of the training, not much happened, but mostly because she just like avoids him.
Good.
And
Good
she
for
finishes
her.
teacher training, becomes a certified Bikram yoga teacher. And then in 2007, she goes to Hawaii to assist a training. And he keeps making these little advances, but she'd deflect. And the thing is that like, assisting a teacher training benefits you like career-wise because then those people who are at the training end up following you, being students of you as well. It's like it's good to like promote yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like advantageous to do these trainings for your career. So she keeps going. So a year later, she agrees to assist a 2008 training in Acapulco as long as she's never left alone with him. She's like, do not leave me alone with him and I'll do it. But one night, all the staffers are watching a Bollywood movie in his room. She fell asleep, and when she went to go find her shoes, everyone leaves her.
No.
As soon as the door clicks, she runs for the door, but then Bikram comes up behind her and pushes her against the door and is like groping her and like trying to kiss her. And the door opens inward. So because her weight and his weight is against the door, she can't open it.
She can't open it.
So she ends up fighting him off and escapes.
Thank God.
And afterward, she alleges that Bikram wouldn't let her teach seminars. He called studios and were like, you shouldn't use her anymore.
Disparaging her name, essentially, blacklisting her.
He blacklists her. Put a pin in that. Meanwhile, Larissa Anderson was dealing with the fallout of addiction and traumatic sexual assault when she found yoga in 1999. She was only 22 and was introduced to Bikram a few years later by her boyfriend at the time, Gamukio.
No! Full circle! Gamukio.
Yeah. Greg Gamukio, who is this, Larissa Anderson is in episode 3. Yoga to the People part 2 or part 1? No, part 1. So that's episode 2. So call back to episode 2. Maybe you don't listen to that episode because our audio is really
audio
bad.
Is doo-doo, but you know, it's fine.
But so
Gamukio. I mean, he's just Gamukio forever.
He's Gamukio forever.
Yeah.
So Gamukio draws the ire of Bikram when he opens up a donation-based studio in New York, Yoga to the People, and starts teaching a 26-posture hot yoga class that Bikram claims belongs to him. Bikram demands that Larissa renounce any connection to him, and she's like, no. And so he exiles her from Bikram Studios.
Oh my God. So blacklisted.
Eventually, she calls Bikram and apologizes, probably after Gamukio.
She and Gamukio
gets another woman pregnant after trying to drug her into a 3-way. Remember that whole situation?
Remember that.
She was welcomed back, and one night they're watching a movie. Bikram asks her to massage him, and she starts to nod off because it's late, but then he tries to kiss her, and she was taken aback and was like, no, I don't want this. You're like my family. And she goes into full disassociation mode and freezes, and he rapes her. Years later, she had finally gotten out of the financial trouble that Gamukio got her into, and she takes out a loan to open a Bikram studio in Seattle. In 2011, she assisted a teacher training, and Bikram tried to get her to sleep with him. Like, he's like, oh, this is a thing. And then she's like, no. Like,
I like how he keeps saying, like, let's make it a thing.
Yeah.
Let's make it a thing.
And everyone's like,
no, nobody's making a thing. It's not a thing.
Yeah. So then he removes her studio from the Bikram directly. So essentially it blacklists her.
Yeah.
It fucks up her business that she just
put everything into.
After she just fixed her life from Gamukio. So this happens countless times. And I have details of so many allegations. It would take like 5 episodes to get through all of them. But they all have this like common formula. They are called to Bikram's room to watch a movie, asked to massage him. He increasingly asks that they massage higher up, and then he sexually assaults or rapes them. And then too many women are too scared to say anything because he holds their career in his hands. So
he can end them like that. Like, everything they've worked for.
And so some women do report it, only to be told you need to just make sure you're never alone with him, or you just need to separate the teacher from the teaching.
Which is fucking ridiculous. Like,
so you're putting the responsibility
on the woman
to not get raped.
Again.
So it's finally in 2012 when Sarah Bond's 2-year-old daughter says to her, I want to be just like you when I grow up. I want to teach yoga. And she was like, oh my God, no.
I gotta change everything. Yeah, that's
like way too dangerous. Like, it's not safe for you to be a yoga teacher. You could get raped. You're my daughter. I don't want that.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, something needs to be done because that's not right.
Yeah.
So
this can't be it.
She decides to file a lawsuit. And she was a prominent member of the Bikram community, so she felt like her story would make a difference. But the backlash was insane. Members of the Bikram community were split. Half were disgusted and removed all association with the founder. Others hit Bond hard with just like nastiness, like victim
they were just being yucky.
And, like, just I don't know. I don't understand. But her bravery encouraged other women to come forward. Jill Lawler, another victim of Bikram, said she didn't realize it was so widespread, but that it needed to be stopped. So once she was like, oh, it's more people, then she was like, okay.
And that's when everybody's going to start
coming out of the woodwork.
Because everyone thinks it's
just them.
Yeah.
It's just them. And then
once they realize that other people are being like, it's that thing where like if we're out at a restaurant, and not the same, by the way, but if somebody else doesn't, like, I would stand up for somebody else's discomfort before my own discomfort.
Yeah.
So it's that.
Yeah. So by January 2014, 4 other women were also suing him for sexual assault, sexual harassment, and rape. At the same time, Mickey Jaffa Bowden was Bikram's legal counsel from 2011 to 2013, and she was abruptly and unlawfully terminated when she started internally investigating the sexual assault claims. Just before Sarah Bond brought her lawsuit, she was like looking into it. And so she was just immediately let go. She was also a victim of the sexual harassment at the hands of Bikram. She filed for wrongful termination.
Why she's like, good.
The trial was wild. Some highlights of the trial and pretrial. He called Mickey's lawyer, Carla Menard, a donkey.
It's so stupid. I like it. It's so stupid. Because I call everybody.
You call everybody a donkey.
You being a donkey.
When questioning him, she says, I hear you don't like 3 things. And he interrupts her and says, no, I don't like 4 things. I'm sorry, Mom, again. He says, no, I don't like 4 things. Cold weather, cold food, cold heart, and cold pussy. And then he mic drops himself a little bit. Bitch, you didn't do your research.
I told you. Meanwhile, the whole court's like,
they're like, oh,
he's not doing himself any favors.
I know. So then he tells the court later on, he's like, I don't have any money. I'm bankrupt. I didn't earn money in the previous 3 years. And the opposing lawyer is like, well, then why did you buy your wife a $350,000 Bentley 2 weeks ago?
I was going to say, do we have another Rolls Royce moment happening?
And he's like, you have a literal warehouse full of Bentleys. And he was like, those aren't mine.
Those are the businesses.
No, he goes, who do they belong to? And he's like, the state of California.
What?
And he goes, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, I made a deal with Jerry Brown. I give the state all of my Bentleys and he would build a school in my name. And he was like, oh, really? What kind of school? And he was like, engineering.
What?
And he says, it's a Bikram School of Engineering for children so they can build Bentleys.
What the fuck?
And so all the judge and jury, they start laughing. Yeah. They're like, what the fuck?
What? This is such
And so then he gets pissed off and he starts going on this rant.
He's like, they're all laughing at me.
I healed President Nixon. He was my second client. He's the one that got me my green card because he was so grateful for all the shit I did for him and blah, 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 blah. And so then they pull out, they're like, well, we've actually subpoenaed the presidential library and he's never heard of you. You're not in any of these.
How did he get said green card if it was
Yeah. And so he leaves that exchange and gives a thumbs up to his lawyers. Like,
I killed it.
We did it.
Did you see that?
Did you see that?
I did it.
So
I did good.
Mickey wins the case.
Yeah.
But it's like a wrongful termination suit. It has nothing to do with any of the sexual harassment allegations.
Which sucks because I feel like that should have been pulled into it.
Yeah. So in January of 2016, she's awarded $6.5 million in punitive damages. Bikram was super pissed, and Mickey's lawyer phrases it so great. She says, quote, it was deeply satisfying to see him run out of the courtroom. He was hot stepping like he was on fire.
He physically ran out of the cold room.
He does.
Stepping.
He just he huffs it out of there.
I must.
Oh my God, it's so good. So in May 2016, he flees back to India, and his lawyers are like, man, he's got no intention of returning or paying that money. So there's arrest warrant out for him because he
Which is why he's not coming back to the States. He's in Mexico somewhere, isn't he?
I think he's in India, but he travels around.
Oh.
So later that year, he goes on Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel and is fully unhinged. And this is where I knew that like Bikram was weird and gross, but like I didn't know how weird and gross. And I remember watching this live and I was like shocked. It shook me to my core because I was like,
Just
what the
how
fuck
weird
is this
and
guy?
gross he is.
So in the interview, he says he doesn't need to sexually harass women because 5,000 women a day want to have sex with him.
Oh my God, it's so...
In fact, 4 women have killed themselves because he wouldn't have sex with them. And people have spent $1 million for a drop of his sperm.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
The audacity to say something so stupid.
Yeah. He then calls Andrea Kramer, the woman interviewing him, trash and then a dumb fuck.
Okay.
And then he also says very super offensive things about his victims that don't need to be repeated.
Yeah, that we're not going to give any light
I know, but like it is wild. Like he has, first of all, has the most ridiculous outfit on. Like more ridiculous than his like Speedo situation.
I can't with. I'm literally looking at pictures of him standing on people.
Yeah.
He's
wearing like leopard on zebra on like all of these animal prints. He's like, I don't know. He's just wild.
Before, after 6 weeks, like the before and afters of taking Bikram's classes.
Oh my God, so stupid. Okay, so in May, so the LA judge issues a warrant for his arrest for failing to pay Mickey and for hiding his remaining assets for liquidation. But then he resumes teacher trainings in Mexico and Spain.
That's why I thought he went to Mexico.
And at least one is attended by Gamacchio. Greg Gamusio.
Okay.
We keep saying Gamacchio like everyone's going to know. It's such a callback to an old episode.
Yeah.
Greg Gamusio, the founder of
Yoga for the People.
Yoga and Creep. Yeah. Yoga to the People and Creep.
Yeah.
It is wild that people are still going to his training.
Mm-mm.
In 2019, a Netflix doc was released. I'll link it in the show notes. And more studios distance themselves, but there's like still those holdouts. And they're like, it's a type of yoga. It's not about the name. It's not about the man. It's about the yoga.
There used to be yoga studios. I remember off the 163, there was a yoga studio and it said Bikram Yoga on it. And I remember he was getting all this like negative, obviously his colors were showing. And then I had driven by it one time and it just said hot yoga. Like they are ditching the name. Rightfully so.
Yeah. And like the people that aren't, I don't get it.
Like, why?
Why? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
No, literally.
Literally go fuck yourself.
Go find a cork.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Go find a cork.
And a string.
Or a string. But like, I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand giving any light or like propping up any guy who's like this gross. Who has hurt anybody, because yoga, ahimsa, right?
Shamelessly.
It's like the first like proponent, thou shalt do not harm, and just his name does harm.
Yeah.
So reflect on that. Go fuck off.
Yeah. Fuck off.
In the most yoga way, ahimsa, but fuck off.
Yeah. Go. I hope your third eye gets poked. I hope you get
real
something.
hard.
I hope you get something in your third eye.
Yeah.
No, he's awful.
He's awful. I was going to make you listen to, he has an album of songs.
No, he does not.
But then I didn't want him to get more listens.
You didn't want him to get not one more download?
No. So I was like, no, we can't.
No, I will not.
I will not.
But it's sometimes
But it's really, really stupid.
So stupid. Yeah. Sometimes it's just too good.
It's the first. Oh, he also says, oh my God, I have a random like little article down here, but this is a quote from one of them. He says, quote, "If they say to me, boss, you must fuck me or I will kill myself, then I do it. If I don't, the karma."
Oh my God.
Why?
Why? Like, what?
Oh my God. He also claims, he also claims that
shit like
his yoga cures cancer. It rid Janet Reno of her Parkinson's and saved John McEnroe's career. I mean, maybe yoga does.
Didn't he like really help? No, it was false. Never mind.
What? The Gaga?
No, the Nixon.
No, yeah, that wasn't real.
No, yeah, I realized that.
That was fake.
That was like his thing though.
Oh, yeah.
That it heals
he had never heard of him. His name didn't appear once in any of the presidential records of that time.
Crazy.
And he gave like a specific date, so they like knew where to look. Then they did a full-on investigation, and they were like, "Oh no, not once does your name appear."
He's like, "Oh, they're not going to look into this. I'm just going to blanket."
I guess like pre-internet, you could lie and like
get away with a lot.
But then,
yeah. That's why sometimes I wonder if like pre-internet, if this world was always like so bad, we just never knew about it. Like all these like
Probably.
murderers and serial killers and rapists and, you know?
Yeah, no, 100% was equally as bad.
Yeah.
We just had
We
no
just didn't
idea.
know. We just
Because
living
if
in
it
this
was
little
written about, it
bubble.
was a local paper.
Yeah. We just had a bubble we were living in.
I know.
Yeah. Fuck Bikram.
Fuck Bikram. So that was our
He's
Bikram episode
so
that I just powered
cringe.
through because I just cannot with that guy.
Yeah,
But
it was like
there's
we
the
had
background.
to. We had to. But honestly, I feel like he's really paved the way for other nasty motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I hate that. Because honestly, I love yoga so much. And it does so much good for me. But when people are yuck and
have you ever taken a Bikram class?
Yeah.
In the carpeted room and everything?
I don't
or
know
was
if
it a
the
hot
room was
yoga
carpeted.
class?
It was in Oceanside, right behind Oceanside High School.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally like, I remember going and I regretted drinking. I had like a little bit of Gatorade like 30 minutes before class. And I remember I was going to vomit in class because of the
humidity.
Yeah. Well, I don't just how hot it was.
Yeah.
But I remember it was a Bikram class.
Yeah.
I went with an old girlfriend. Shout out Jeanette.
There's a Bikram studio like down in like the financial district that was close to my school and college. And I thought, oh, I'm going to go. And I walked past one day and it was like carpeted. And
are they all carpeted?
Usually they were carpeted. It was before they had mats. So you would just do it on the carpet.
On the carpet. Oh, that is so gross.
It is so gross. And I go and it's like super sweaty. This man in teeny shorts bending over. So like you could basically like see his butthole.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I don't.
I got to get out of here.
Yeah. Maybe you don't do the yoga. No, I didn't go.
Oh.
No.
That was enough for you.
Yeah. It would have been really convenient, but.
Yeah, no. I don't remember if the class was carpeted, but.
There is a draw. So like there is like, so set sequences are nice because there is a draw for like beginners because you know what's coming. You can practice those like over and over again.
But you know what I love?
But the mental abuse isn't, and the emotional abuse isn't so great.
Yeah. I love not knowing what's coming.
Me too. If I know what's coming, I'm so bored.
Yeah.
That's why I never sequence my classes. I just
yeah, you freestyle.
I freestyle.
I like it. Honestly, I really prefer that. When I know what's coming, I just feel like I've done this before. I want to work a new muscle or I want to practice balance, whatever.
Yeah.
Like challenge something different.
Yeah, but different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah. So what should we call this one?
I don't honestly know.
Stick a cork in
it, Bikram.
Your dick hole?
Yeah.
That's what
Stick
really
a cork in your dick hole, Bikram.
Bikram.
The look.
Ugh.
Stick a cork in it.
Stick a cork in it. I hate you.
Yeah.
Fuck everybody who does Bikram. Okay, maybe not that far. But actually, no. I take it back. I reaffirm. I reaffirm if you are still standing by Bikram.
Fuck you.
Off. Go fuck. You go stick a cork in it.
Fuck you and find your cork.
Find that cork.
And put it in your smallest
hole possible.
Sorry, Cindy. Just apologizing all day.
My mom's going to be like, oh, why?
What? She's
why
like, you couldn't just say it like one time less.
One time less.
or continuously.
Sorry, Cindy.
Fine.
It's the
Fine.
P word. I can't.
Yeah.
That's so uncomfortable.
Stick a cork in it, Bikram.
Blech. Okay. If you would like to support our podcast, we would really, really appreciate it. We have a Patreon at patreon.com/spirituallyfucked. Yeah, you'll get a shout out and access to unedited episodes if you want to hear
the crazy
us bullshitting and stuff that we were like, oh shit, we gotta cut that out.
I guess we gotta
I guess we
gotta pull that out. Edit it out.
So that is available on Patreon. Otherwise, if you could rate or review us, that would be wonderful. Or follow us on Instagram at spirituallyfpodcast.
Please do. We love doing this shit. It is so much fun.
We want to keep doing it, and it's super fun. And yeah.
And we want to quit our jobs.
We do. We want to quit our jobs. That way we'll be playing hooky every day.
So we can do this just every day.
Yeah. More episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is all. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for getting spiritually fucked.
Bye.